New horror story. My perfect roommate left salt lines under her door every night. Emma always left the kitchen light on when she came home from work, and I loved watching her silhouette move behind the frosted glass as she made dinner. We'd been roommates for 8 months, splitting the rent on this old Victorian house downtown. She was perfect. Quiet, clean, never brought guys over. Sometimes I'd catch her looking over her shoulder when she thought no one was watching, like she was nervous about something, but I figured that was just city living getting to her. I developed feelings for her pretty quickly. The way she hummed while doing dishes, how she'd curl up on the couch with her laptop, typing furiously on what I assumed were work emails. She wore this vanilla perfume that lingered in rooms long after she left, mixing with the musty smell of the old house in a way that made my chest tight. The problem was Emma seemed scared of me. Not scared exactly, but jumpy. She'd flinch when I walked into a room, even when I tried to be quiet. Sometimes she'd stop mid-conversation with someone on the phone and just stare at empty air, her face pale. I started wondering if she'd had a bad experience with a previous roommate. I tried being the perfect housemate. I kept my music low, cleaned up after myself, never hogged the bathroom. But the kitchen light flickered constantly whenever I was near it, which seemed to make her more nervous. She started eating out more often, avoiding the kitchen altogether. "Emma, are you okay?" I asked one evening when she rushed past me in the hallway without even a nod. She didn't answer. She never answered when I spoke directly to her. I figured she was just shy, maybe intimidated by having a male roommate. Some women were like that, so I gave her space, tried to be less obvious about my feelings, but I couldn't help watching her through the gap under my bedroom door when she paced the hallway at night, whispering into her phone about cold spots and feeling watched. The house was old. Of course there were cold spots. Last Tuesday, Emma didn't come home from work. I waited until midnight, watching through the living room window for her car, the kitchen light flickering like a strobe. Wednesday passed the same way. By Thursday, I was panicking. Had something happened to her? Should I call the police? I realized I didn't even know her last name, her work number, anything about her family. We'd been living together for months, but somehow we'd never really talked. Friday morning, I found a note tucked under the front door. My hands shook as I read it. To the owner of 1247 Maple Street. I'm terminating my lease effective immediately. I can't live here anymore. The disturbances have gotten too intense. I've left the key under the mat. Please keep my security deposit to cover damages. I'm sorry, but I won't be coming back. Emma Clark, Unit A. Unit A? What was she talking about? This wasn't a duplex. We were roommates sharing the whole house. I ran to her bedroom, but the door was locked. I'd never noticed that before. Why would Emma lock her door from the outside? When I finally got it open using the spare key from the kitchen drawer, I found something that made my blood freeze. The room was set up like a studio apartment. Mini fridge in the corner, hot plate on a card table, a small bed, and dozens of salt lines across the threshold. Crucifixes hung on every wall. On the nightstand was a lease agreement dated 8 months ago. Tenant, Emma Clark. Property, 1247 Maple Street, Unit A, converted bedroom. Landlord, the estate of David Morrison. David Morrison, that was my name. With trembling fingers, I searched through the papers scattered on her desk. Printed emails to her sister. Sarah, I know you think I'm crazy, but someone lives in this house with me. I never see him clearly, but I hear footsteps, doors slamming, and it gets so cold when he's near. Another email. I tried talking to the landlord's family, but they insist no one else has access to the house. They say David Morrison died here 3 years ago. Suicide in the basement. But I know someone's here. The lights flicker when he walks by and I smell his cologne every night. I stumbled backward, the papers falling from my numb hands. In the hallway mirror, I caught a glimpse of my reflection and stopped breathing. I was transparent, pale, flickering like the kitchen light. The memories rushed back like ice water filling my lungs. The rope. The basement. The crushing weight of loneliness that had driven me to. Emma hadn't been my roommate. She'd been my victim. For 8 months, I'd haunted this girl, following her around like a lovesick puppy while she lived in terror. Every time I'd tried to get close to her, I'd made the lights flicker, dropped the temperature, filled rooms with the scent of the cologne I'd worn the night I died. She'd been paying rent to live in my house while I tormented her without even realizing I was dead. The kitchen light flickered one final time, then went out completely. But the house isn't empty now, because yesterday a new tenant moved into Unit A, a young man about my age who sets up his laptop in the living room every evening. He seems nice, quiet, a little lonely, and I can't help watching him through the frosted glass, learning his routines, developing feelings. The kitchen light has started flickering again. He just doesn't know I'm here yet. Thank you for listening. If you really like the story, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more daily horror stories. Thanks.